All right, welcome in. This is your preview and picks for the Tour Championship. I know it's been a while since I've made one of these videos, but I just could not resist the Tour Championship. It's one of my favorite events. We have the 30 best golfers in the world, or at least the 30 hottest golfers at the end of the playoffs, all converging on East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta, Georgia, which is a par 70, 7,300-yard golf course. This is a no-cut event. So all these players, barring withdrawal, injury, whatever it may be, disqualification, they're all going to play 4 rounds. Your defending champion is Jordan Spieth, who also double-dipped and took the FedEx Cup championship. And there are 5 players, the top 5 guys in the FedEx Cup rankings. If they win the Tour Championship, they also win the FedEx Cup, so an extra $10 million to those guys. Those players are Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Adam Scott, Jason Day, and Paul Casey. So all of these golfers, all 30 of the guys in the field have some type of mathematical opportunity to win the FedEx Cup. But these 5, even more so of a rooting interest, these 5 guys don't need help from anyone else. They can go out and win it themselves. All right, so let's talk about a couple of these guys, and we'll start with Paul Casey, who, if you were paying attention, he was the last guy that I mentioned who could go out and win the Tour Championship and, in turn, win the FedEx Cup. It was kind of like, which of these names does not belong? And it was Paul Casey, who's kind of the odd man out. But what that means is he can kind of come in and steal the FedEx Cup championship. And it's really been thanks to his great play in the playoffs. All the FedEx Cup points just get jacked up in the playoffs. So the fact that he's coming off a second at the Deutsche Bank and a second at the BMW in the last 2 weeks really vaulted him up the leaderboard. And I mean, he's still having a strong season, but here's a guy who is now in a place at only $9,500 where he can just come in. This is like playing with house money. Just come in and win this whole thing and walk out of here with like 11 million bucks in total, and no pressure at all, because I don't know who's really expecting Paul Casey to win this thing. A really good run of tournaments recently, and Paul Casey has played at the Tour Championship twice. A T4 and a T5 are his results. Obviously, with only 30 guys in the field, all the results are going to be jacked up this week. But, I mean, come on. 2 top 5s is obviously an excellent showing from Paul Casey. All right, next up is Ryan Moore, only $6,800, and I think this guy is the sleeper of the week. I have not heard much commotion on Ryan Moore this week, but I think you should really be paying attention. So he's played the Tour Championship, made it this far 3 times in the last 6 years. In that 6-year stretch, no one has more DraftKings points per round at the Tour Championship than Ryan Moore. Yes, that is a true fact. Now, this does not take into account bonuses or finishing position, just actual birdies, bogeys, pars, all that good stuff. No one has more DraftKings points per round than Ryan Moore. A 6th place last year, a T3 and a T9 in his other 2 appearances, and he's coming in excellent form. 3 out of the last 5 weeks, he's posted top 10s, including a T7 and a T8 in the first 2 legs of the playoff, and he won the John Deere Classic 5 weeks ago. So this is a guy who's now playing well. He is very much underpriced. If you look back at the pricing last year, Ryan Moore, I believe, would have been priced dead last at $6,800. This year, the pricing is a little softer, so he's not that far down. But Ryan Moore, a really, really good play, in my opinion, this week. All right, and then finally we have Roberto Castro, who priced kind of in the sleeper range, but I think there's a lot of noise on him this week. I don't think he's going to be that much of a sleeper. I think he'll be fairly significantly owned at only $7,300. The big thing with Castro here is how familiar he's going to be with East Lake. Castro went to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's home course is East Lake. There are probably few guys in the field, if anyone, that has played East Lake as much as Castro has. I think that's probably a safe bet considering how much he played it at Georgia Tech. He's only made the Tour Championship once. It was 2013, where he finished in the top 10. It was a T9. And he's playing well recently. A 3rd at the BMW Championship, puts Castro in really good form. I think he was the 36-hole leader, so Castro playing well right now. He's going home. He's going to a course that he is very, very familiar with, and I think he is going to be able to prosper again this week. I don't think he's much of a secret, but you certainly should be aware of what Castro is doing. All right, and that's it for me. I threw together a quick DraftKings league, so if you're interested, go and click the link in the description. Join the DFS On Demand DraftKings league. That's where we're going to be doing all the free rolls moving forward, all the contests. Feel free to make any contests that you want. This week there is a $5 Tour Championship contest. I'm an idiot, and I made it a winner take all. I meant to do pay out 5 spots, but people have already joined it, so I'm not going to change it now. Also, if you win the thing, I will give you a free year subscription to DFS On Demand for the entire site. So that is my incentive to you. So good luck. Best of playing that this week, and I hope you guys win a lot of money. See ya.